For the new Friday the 13th movie, is Jason the key, or could it be Mommy Dearest? Let's go.
Lock your doors, bolt your windows, and turn off the lights. Make sure the kids are safe at home, cause you're headed to the Night Watch Zone. Watch Zone.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I knew I had to do a video like this because once I heard about the news that we're getting closer and closer to getting the verification that we're going to have a new Friday 13th movie coming out in theaters, there's so much to talk about. So I knew I had to do this video, and I want to start kind of from the beginning with an idea that I have as a fan, and something that I'm sure I'm going to be talking about more on live streams and hopefully with you guys in the comment section and in our live chats. But with this new movie, what's the direction that they're going to go? There are so many ways that they could go, guys. Seriously, it's almost endless. Okay, we haven't had a movie in 13 years, so they literally could do pretty much whatever the hell they want. Now, with that being said, it has to be executed correctly. That's always the biggest thing. It has to be executed correctly. You could have a great idea, and if it's not executed correctly, it's going to be shit. That's basically the bottom line. So I want to throw out a couple of ideas, or at least one idea, I should say, and see what you guys think. Now, I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen, and I'm not saying that this would be the best way for the new movie to go. I'm just throwing out ideas because I'm so excited, and as a lifelong Friday the 13th fan, I just had to share this with you guys. So just follow me for a second here. Let's assume that this new movie that's coming out is going to be successful. We've waited so long for it as fans, and horror fans are in that mode right now of going and supporting these movies in the theater and so forth. Assuming that this movie that comes out is going to be successful, we possibly could be looking at a trilogy. Now, that's, I know I'm kind of shooting for the stars there, but let's just assume that for a moment. Let's assume we're going to get a Friday the 13th trilogy. Now, if we get a trilogy, I personally think one way or the other, we got to kind of take it back. And I think one way to take it back and really get to the roots of this horrific tale and the possibilities, opening the possibilities, we got to start with Pamela. We got to start with Pamela Voorhees. Now, I'm not saying that, let's say it's a trilogy. I'm not saying in this first movie that it's only about Pamela. Maybe, if they did it right, maybe. But let's just talk about her character for a moment. In the original Friday the 13th in 1980, we see the iconic, the late, great Betsy Palmer playing Pamela Voorhees. We don't know a lot about Pamela Voorhees, right? We don't get much of an introduction. We don't get time spent with her. We literally see her at the end of the movie for the reveal when she faces off against Alice. But what if in this new trilogy that they really mine the mythology of the Voorhees family? And I mean in a very realistic way. I'm not talking about how they retcon stuff and Jason Goes to Hell. That's no, none of that. But what if we have a younger Pamela Voorhees, and we start off at a time where we can kind of be introduced to her? Obviously, there's going to be a connection to Camp Crystal Lake because she was a cook there. And maybe seeing some of the things, the breadcrumbs that start to show how unbalanced she is, and maybe seeing how that happens. Maybe it's something that's an external situation. We could even have, some storyline that connects her with Jason's father, Elias, or whatever. You can call him whatever you want, but showing maybe those origins. It could be a thing where Pamela is just one of those individuals that is really susceptible, right? she falls in love with this guy. They're young, but he's maybe the one that's really, really psychotic or evil or unstable or what have you. I'm just spitballing here. But what if we got a chance to see those types of things at Camp Crystal Lake? What if there are accidents that happen and we find out that it's Elias, and maybe near the end of the movie, if this were to be a Pamela origin story, maybe at the end of the movie, something that drives her over the edge. And we're not even talking about Jason yet, but to see her kind of go full bore, just totally psychotic, I think that could be a really interesting thing. I really, really do. Maybe if they positioned the timeline of the movie, maybe this could be, right before Jason is born. Maybe half of that, the first half of the movie is showing her, as a young lady, meeting Elias. Maybe they have a romance or whatever. They're spending summers at Crystal Lake. Whether or not they're staying there or living in the surrounding areas, as we've seen in other Friday the 13th movies, I think it could be some really cool stuff. I mean, the time frame would be really cool and have a charm to it. You'd have to get a really great actress to portray Pamela Voorhees, and I think there's plenty of them out there that could do a really great job in that role. But maybe near the end of the movie, you have the tragic accident where Jason, quote unquote, drowned. Maybe you could go that route. Okay, there's a lot of ways you can do it, but I just think the bottom line is seeing a younger Pamela Voorhees and getting an idea on what got her to where we eventually saw her in the 1980 classic. I think it'll be really interesting, and you could really mine some of those mystery aspects that the original Friday the 13th had. Anyways, that's just some thoughts that I'm having just run through my mind these last several days since the news broke that we're going to get a new Friday the 13th movie. I definitely hope it's going to be at least a trilogy idea. They're probably going to see how well the first movie does and then green light stuff as they go. But it would be great to know that we could get a trilogy of these movies, just like we did with Halloween, and really mine the mythology a little bit. Get to know Pamela Voorhees and maybe Jason's father, and just seeing those origins, and maybe through that trilogy having connections to that. They could change the mythology up a little bit as well. Maybe, once Pamela is at the age where we saw her in the original Friday the 13th, maybe she survives that altercation with Alice. Maybe she just gets hurt or what have you. There's 1,000 ways that we could go, guys, and I want to talk more about those things if you're interested in that. So if you are, please let me know in the comment section down below. I think it's a really cool conversation to have for all of us Friday the 13th fans. I think it's almost endless, the possibilities, and I really want to spearhead discussions and content that is geared towards Friday the 13th, even more so than we have before on this channel. And we've done a lot of Friday the 13th content, deep dive discussions of each movie, rankings, final girl discussions, and so forth. So I hope you guys get a chance to check out all of those episodes. They're in our Friday the 13th playlist. It definitely will help the channel, but also let us know that this is the content that we need to work on. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fans out there that will enjoy this content. So anyways, please like the video. That would really help support the channel too, and I'd appreciate it. And if you have not subscribed to the Night Watch Zone, what are you doing? This is the time to do it. And I'm telling you guys, we're ready to rock and roll with this information and speculation on the new Friday the 13th, as well as other horror content as well. So anyways, I'll catch you guys later. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.